What's up, guys? First day using the new camera, so hopefully everything works out nicely. I'm gonna have to play with the audio and video a little bit, but back to working on the Porsche here. We're gonna be doing rear fender flares, installing the doors, maybe installing the front fenders, and maybe installing the hood, getting all the gaps nice and lined up. We're gonna be riv nutting the rear fenders on, or the rear fender flares in place, and yeah, hopefully we can get some decent amount of work on this and make it start looking like a new car. Another surprise I got for you is we made this a long time ago, this little gurney flap for the factory wing, but that is going to be going away, and I'm going to be taking some of this plate, plating that, plating the top. I'll probably weld that edge, make it look all smooth. And then if we walk over here, and if you follow me on Instagram, like you should be, then you would know this already. If you're not following me on Instagram, give me a follow so you can stay up to date with stuff like this. It's upside down, but this is a big ass APR GTC 500 wing. Oh, and some of them sideways fab shirts you can pick up on the website. Double plug, 2 plugs in 1 clip, I think so. But yeah, so I'm gonna be making custom uprights for this because those are a little bit too short, and then we're gonna get that mounted up. Maybe in this video if you're real lucky. Alright, so right here is one of the fiberglass rear quarter fender, or fiberglass fender flares for the quarter panel. And this is from GT Racing. It's modeled after the Porsche 930. So nice and wide, not crazy wide. It's not like RWB spec or anything, but definitely a decent bit of room for some wheels, namely some 12 wide HREs. So what I'm going to be doing is, I'm going to start off right here. Let me see what I got. Yeah, we're going to be starting off the first one at 1 inch. Hello, Corey.
Hello. I'm just looking at your fancy new camera setup.
I know, it's nice, right?
Which they can't see me because you have the camera on a stand.
Yeah. So the first one's at 1 inch, and then the next ones are going to be at 4 inches. And then the plan is... He's wondering what's going on. So we're going to go 4 inches, and then we're going to use every other point. And the reason we're doing 4 is just to make it so we can do these curves nicely without cutting across and making the spacing uneven. And hopefully you can hear me well, because I played with my microphone sensitivity because it was picking up everything, and I think it should be pretty well. We're working pretty well now. If not, it's going to be like a film from the 1920s. Silent film. Alright, so there we go. And we're going to be using every other one. So we're going to be using this one, 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 and... Shoot, hopefully I didn't mess it up. So I already Nope, nope, I was right. So, boom, and then boom. So we're good. I already did one just to help me plan it out. So, then we're going to take this. And I put this at 0.65. That's just where I liked it for the look of this that I'm going for. So boom. And then just use this to scratch the gel coat just enough to see it. Saw nothing. So I got a drill bit, and we're gonna drill the holes somewhat carefully. Nah. Gonna redo the markings and then drill the holes because I don't like where they're at. Gonna bring them to 0.5, half an inch. Yeah. Boom. Like that. Don't use too much pressure when you're drilling fiberglass. You don't want to stab through the back, you want to drill through the back. Boom, one down, one to go. Alright, so now we got one of these rear fender flares. Got one bolt on it. Gonna drill all the bolts and just have a bunch of random nuts and bolts that I'm gonna throw through. So, once we get it where we need to, if I can find my tool, right here. Yep, alright, that there. And all of these holes are going to be over drilled, like drilled oversized to allow adjustment. So right now these don't have to be perfect, but trying to get them, you know, decently close just to make everything easier later on. So we're doing one, moving on to the next. All right, so my dad stopped by, came in town to work on the fiberglass sunroof delete that he was working on before, as well as I'm having him do a whole fiberglass sunroof, or headliner. Yeah, fiberglass headliner, which will save me a little bit of work from having to do a bunch of metal work and finish work up on the top of the roof, and we'll probably just wrap it with some vinyl or something cool looking. So while he's working on that, I have been working on this over here, which is getting my headlight trim rings mounted up on the fenders, which just needs a little trimming right there. Been using a Dremel with the cutoff wheel as well as flat disc, just slowly grinding it until this sits in there nice and flush and all the edges are nice and clean. And if you're doing anything like this, you want to go real slow, not take too much material off at once, because it's a lot easier to take more off than it is to put some on. So, grind at it, test it out, try it again, keep doing that over and over again. So here it is. This right here is 2 layers of fiberglass cloth and then 1 layer of matte. And then we actually cut the edges every couple inches, and it helped it lay down smooth along all these compound curves that we got here. And then also in here, you can kind of see it. We have the old fiberglass sunroof delete, which is just sitting on top of the roof. And that is just to give us the shape. It will have a little bit of a ridge there, but once we cover it with a little bit of foam and some cloth or whatever, you won't even be able to see it. So basically, I think we're going to lay a little bit more cloth on this, and then we're going to pop this off and see how well it fits, see what sort of modifications we need to do to fit it from the inside, and hope for the best. And right here's one of the front fenders in place with the trim ring. I need to make little tabs for this bolt to just screw into, but I can't find my M6 by 1.0 tap, so that'll wait until tomorrow. And then currently I am working on the hood. I found a couple rust spots around the front edge. Let's see if it'll focus. Come on now, buddy. But yep, cut that out, cut this corner out, sprayed a bunch of OSFO in there, and now I'm gonna redo that. And then also another thing, if you're using OSFO, which I've showed you in a couple of my other videos, you gotta make sure that you neutralize it after you're done, which is, from what I read, you pretty much just respray it so the OSFO re-wets the OSFO, and then you wash it out with just soap and water and then dry it fairly quickly so you don't have rust, because that's the whole point of doing it. So whenever I get my epoxy primer, I'm gonna work on neutralizing it and then just spray one panel at a time. Do the hood, you know, do probably the doors, and then sort of work on all the body stuff separately once it's all ready to go, and I can start pulling parts off and whatnot. So now I'm working on the wing stands, or the wing stand base plates. So I trace this and cut that out, which is going to go here. Probably maybe 2 bolts there, and then I'm going to make another plate that goes on the top, and maybe another 2 or something like that. And then I used the DA sander right there to just flatten this out a little bit. It had a little bit of a curve to it, so that fits pretty well right there. And then, yeah, you can maybe see the curve on this one. Not totally sure, but yeah. So, gonna make the top piece and then weld them together, and then grind the weld down just so it looks like a cool, nifty piece. Alright, so right here I got the one that is just freshly welded together. There was a hole right there that I had to weld up, and I'll shave that down. But that's how that's looking right there. And then this one is a little bit closer to being done. You can see let's see if I can focus on this. Sort of. Yeah, you can see I sanded down that edge. So that's kind of what I'm going for. This corner right here, I think I'm going to add a little curved piece just to give it a better transition. And then, yeah, it should be pretty nice. I'll probably just drop 4 bolts, you know, one there, there, and there. And with that being on 2 different planes, you know, being here and here, it should give it a ton of stability. So now I just need to shave this one down. I may weld the inside, I'm not totally sure, but I think that should be plenty strong anyways. And this is what the fiberglass headliner looks like off the car. It's pretty sturdy. You can see a little bit of a ridge there, that's no big deal. This will all get sanded down anyways, just to be a bit rough for any glue to stick to. It does need a little bit of trimming to make it fit up there, because obviously the outside of the roof is wider than the inside of the roof. So we may have to cut it down the middle and patch them back together. All in all, it's pretty nice. You can see there, maybe it's about 3/16 of an inch thick. Weighs about 10 pounds or so. So definitely not bad. And I got the car up in the air right now via a bunch of batteries holding it down, because there's an engine back here and nothing up front. But yeah, this turned out pretty nice, I think. And that is it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you like all of the progress that we're getting on the Porsche. A lot more to come, so be sure to subscribe.